Okay, welcome to our first Python tutorial, and we're going to get into a little bit on outputting information to the screen and a little bit about variables in this video. But before we get started, first of all, I'm using a program called foobar, and it's spelled like this. You can find that in the Mac App Store, and it's free, and it lets you run code snippets in different languages, Python being one of those. And I'm not in any way associated with foobar, but just thought I'd recommend it because it's free. Alright, so let's get started with Python. So Python is an interpreted language, which means it's not actually compiled to machine code, so it does so at runtime. And also you need to know that Python files are saved with a .py file extension. So if you're going to save files for use later, save them with .py. Okay, so how do you output to the screen? Well, that's pretty simple. You just write the word print and then put what you want to output to the screen in parentheses. So let's just say we want to print the number 7. That's all we would do. You write print 7. And see down here in this yellow area, it shows the output and it put the number 7. So we could try something more fancy. We'll say print 7 plus 1, so you can do operations within the print, and you can see it output 8. And of course we can also output strings, so I could say print hello world with Python, and it outputs hello world with Python to the screen. Something else you can do with print is you can check your data types, and the way you do that is with the keyword type. So let's go ahead and write print, and then we'll say type, and we'll put in the number 3. Then we'll say print type, and this time I'm going to put 3.1, or we'll put 3.0. The result's going to be the same, but and let's do it for a string. So I'll say print type hello, and we'll go ahead and run that. And so you see down here it output type int for the first one, float for the second one, and string for the last one. So let's clear all this out, and instead of just printing actual values, let's go ahead and create some variables. So a variable is a symbolic name you assign to a memory location, and then you can refer to the name. So I could say string message is equal to, and then put in quotes, hello world, and then I could say print string message. So you run that, you see it says hello world. And one of the interesting things about strings is you can refer to individual characters. So I could say print string message and refer to the first character, or we could do a range like this. We could say string message and then say 2:5. So let's run that and see what we get. So string message 0 gives us H, and then 2 through 5 is LOO. Now of course we can create numerical variables, so we can say A is equal to 2 plus 4, and we could print that out. Then we can do simple multiplication, so we could say B is equal to 3 times A minus 1, for example. We could create a floating variable, so I could say GPA is equal to 3.2, and then we could say print B and then print GPA to output to the screen, and there you see it calculated those and printed them out. So we got B was 3 times 6 minus 1 is 17. Something else interesting you can do is you can set multiple variables equal to the same value, And when you do that, they're actually going to point to the same location. So what I mean is I could say D is equal to E. Let's use something else. Let's say X is equal to Y is equal to Z is equal to 2.1. So now I could say print Z or print Y. So let's run that, and you see we got 2.1. And now I'm going to say Y is equal to 4.5. Then we'll say print X, and then we'll say print Y. So this is I don't know, can't think of a practical situation where you want to do that. Well, you might need to initialize values to the same, or variables to the same values. So we could say, let's see, if we need to initialize everything to 0 to start, you could do that. X equals Y equals Z equals 0. So it's a little bit simplified syntax instead of having to write X equals 0, Y equals 0, and Z equals 0. Okay, so that's our introduction to Python, just getting you used to setting up some simple variables and printing them out to the screen. So in the next video, we're going to talk about lists and tuples.